We got our second guest for the evening.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
We got my man Bulletz, Gotti in the building.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Bulletz, Gotti, what up, champ?
I'm chilling, man, I'm chilling. I just want to say shout out to Beat 139. I'm happy to be here. You know, I want to say that y'all brothers been doing a great job on the platform, getting fire interviews, and everybody that y'all brought on y'all platform, like I was saying earlier to y'all, it's all about the people and not just only the celebrities. Y'all is the show for the people. That's why I like the Beat 139. And I've always been a #1 supporter because what y'all dudes do is y'all bring a lot of people to come through here,
right,
and y'all get to hear their stories. And it's not just, oh yeah, yo, what you did here. No, it's what you want to hear from what they did in the past, in the present, in the future.
Exactly.
So I always salute y'all on that, and it's all about positivity and great vibes.
Yeah, it is. I appreciate you, man.
I can see that you know our process, because like you said, we start from the beginning. So Bulletz Gotti, from the beginning, how was growing up? Where you from?
I was born in Queens, Elmhurst, Queens, but I moved to Brooklyn when I was real young. So I grew up in Brooklyn. I've been all through different sections of Brooklyn, Canarsie, Bed-Stuy, East New York, just different sections. But growing up, it was good. You know, I had my how you say, my triumphs and my trials and tribulations. But I further learned how to navigate through society and what was going on around me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just blessed that I'm here to have a voice, to have a platform. You know what I'm saying? Because before I started doing YouTube, I was doing music. You know what I'm saying? I started rapping. I think I started rapping when I was like 14. I linked up with my boy Marvelous. He the one that introduced me to the rap thing and how to like record music.
Right.
So when I started doing that, and I got further around, I met a lot of other people that was doing music, and then I started getting to the studio. I started to learn how to structure bars and all that. But that was my first love. But before music, my first love was football. I played football all through, from 5 years old to 14 years old, I played football. So sports was really my first love before music.
What position?
I was a tight end.
Yeah, you look like tight end, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe quarterback too.
Yeah.
You got a height for all that.
Yeah. So I played wide receiver and I played tight end. So I was like, that was like my favorite moments was football. Football was everything I loved before like the music and everything. Mm-hmm. And then when I was in school, I used to play with the rapping thing. So when I started playing with the rapping thing, I started learning that I had a gift in that too. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she always used to push me, yo, do the music. Even my cousins, they used to say, do the music. But I used to get, you know, kind of shy about it because I really didn't want to do the music because everybody I knew rap. Mm-hmm. You know, when we was in high school, there was a couple people that I knew I grew up with that was doing the rapping thing. And then I see a lot of them now, they getting into the industry now doing the rapping thing. Mm-hmm. So it was like, that was my first love after football because like, after I played football, like I hurt. I had tore my MCL right here. So I had tore that. Right. And I was playing basketball. And so from there, I was going to physical therapy, and you know, basically from there, I started doing the music more. So I was going in the studio, rapping and all that. So through like 2012 to 2013, I was doing music, and I had stopped. So when I stopped doing music, I went to school. I was going to college at the time. I was taking up business and finance, and then my man's Marv, he was telling me about music because he was doing music real heavy. He was recording in his house, and then he started going to the studio. So when he started going to the studio, I went on my birthday. I told him, yo, we're gonna go record music. And then from there on, I was doing the music. Then I got introduced to YouTube by this dude. He was doing the YouTube, but he's locked up now named Chris Kidd. He brought me to YouTube, where basically he hollered at me, you know, behind the scenes. He said, yo, what you doing on Sundays? I said nothing. You know, so because I was doing the music, I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I didn't really deal with YouTube. All I did with YouTube was listen to music. Mm-hmm. So he said, yo, I want you to come on my platform. I do like a Sunday show. So I went this platform. From then on, the people kept telling me to come back on because they liked me, you know? Yeah. So he said, yo, I want you to come back on my show. Because at first he didn't want me as a regular guest. And then he just said, yo, you know what? You become a regular host on here. So I came back on the show, and then from that day on, that became like my calling was YouTube. Mm. And I started blogging from there on.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't even realize you was that tall.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
Me neither. That's all I know.
I know, man.
Just the face caught it, but when I seen your height, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So the music, you had you pushed the music or you just did it for fun?
When I was a teenager, I used to push it for fun. But when I got with my man's mom, and when I was like, I think I was like 21, 22, I started pursuing it more hard because I started seeing people I knew doing the music heavy. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pursue this music thing hard because I like doing music. You know what I'm saying? And I like, you know, writing for dudes and you know, put my hooks together and structure my bars. But what really turned me on about the music game is the politics. And you know what I'm saying? The politics is what turned me on because it's like when you deal with this music game, you gotta kiss a lot of ass. That's one thing I learned. Like the bloggers, you gotta kiss the bloggers' ass. You gotta kiss these party promoters' ass, and then you gotta kiss the DJ's ass because if you're not cool with a DJ or a blogger, you're not gonna get your music pushed.
Right.
So that's what happens to a lot of artists, because I see there's a lot of dope artists in New York City that should be pushed. But the thing is that it's who you know in the game. If you don't know a certain blogger or a certain DJ, they're not gonna push your music. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be connected. And that's one thing I hated about the rap game. It's like, I know a ton of dudes. Like my cousin, for example, he was doing the music thing. That's another one that inspired me a lot. He locked up in PA right now. You know what I'm saying? But he was the dude that told me, listen, cuz if I don't make it in this rap thing, I want you to do this rap thing. He said, everybody in this family needs you to do your thing. And I say, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? So I started going hard with the music thing just because he told me, because he was going hard, but he wasn't too hard because it's like, you got certain people that they got one foot in the streets and they got one foot in the rap game.
Right.
And he had one foot in the streets and his foot stayed in the streets. So he couldn't get straight in the rap game. And I'm gonna keep it honest, I'm gonna be honest. I think he a better rapper than me. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me saying that because I feel like he put more work into his craft. I put work in my craft too, but he took time to go in the studio all the time. But the problem was he couldn't stay on the straight and narrow with it. And that's what I think a lot of dudes that don't have the connections, and even myself, like I at the point, I didn't have the connections. So, and I didn't want to go to my mom's because she know a lot of people in the industry, but I didn't want to do that because I said, as a man, I want to do it on my own.
Right.
So that's what I did. I said, I'm gonna do all this thing on my own. I'm gonna spend my bread. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to promote myself. And what really hurt me is I spent my bread on a dude that promote my music. And the dude turned to find out it was a scam. And that's what really turned me off for this rap shit. I said, yo, this shit ain't working. So when dude came to me about YouTube, I was like, I'm gonna do this YouTube thing.
Right.
You know, so that's what really made me just started doing YouTube. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna try my hand with it. And then when I started doing certain videos and I started seeing like the reaction and then I started seeing the views, I'm like, oh shit, this shit really worked, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, you have to grab the attention to the people. And we in today's society where it's a low attention span out here. Like a lot of people out here, they listen to the music. It's not like how back in the days when you listen to a record, you listen to the whole album. Today, they listen to one single or they watch one video and they done with it. They're not going back to it further again. So the attention span of people is so low, so you gotta throw videos out there to keep their attention span just to blow that algorithm and that search engine. And that's what made me like stay grounded on this YouTube thing.
So before we get into the YouTube, can you drop the switch to 16?
Oh, I got you. It's some old shit. I got you right now.
Yeah.
I got you. I don't like shit the easy way. I like it hard. 45 by my side, and I call that bitch God. Yo, I got it so raw. You niggas selling cut, maybe you should be a pimp. Well, y'all niggas selling stuff, fool. I ain't done it all, but a nigga done a lot. Had dope, been broke, put niggas on the spot. See that drama overflow. Be spilling out the pot simple. I'm here to pull rap out the gutter. They say Straps is dead. Who? You black motherfucker?
Because we have bloggers on this show. This show, one thing we do everybody. We had Gully TV, we had Doggy Diamonds. And, you know, they like big on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And they do great interviews.
Yeah, King Ernest for the king, but he bowed out the last minute.
He bowed last minute.
Yeah, he bowed the last minute.
Yeah, so you know, Yo, you big like on YouTube. Like everybody, I saw Kwame Brown. I saw Tommy. I saw you on Tommy Sotomayor. Somehow I can't pronounce his name.
Tommy Sotomayor.
Sotomayor show. Yeah. I'm like, damn, like everybody know you.
Yeah.
And then Hassan Campbell, you good friends with him, right?
Yeah. I rock with Haas, man. I like what he doing with his platform. Like, I think like it's certain platforms, like your platform and other platforms, like even Unique. I like Unique channel. I like other platforms out here that really got something that's a message with it. You know what I'm saying? I like what the message Hassan is talking when it comes to certain rappers, because I got friends that be with a lot of these rappers. And a lot of these rappers, man, I don't like what they doing with the industry, where they dumbing it down with the street and the gang culture, and it trickles down into the streets. Cause you got a lot of young dudes that's crash dummy for a lot of these rappers. And I seen it with dudes that I grew up with that's now doing 20 years in jail.
And Hassan, he don't pick and choose. That's what you like about him.
Yeah, I like that, because it's like sometimes a lot of dudes get scared because they fear these rappers. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these rappers got crews and all that. But I think dudes gotta address it, because if we look at what's going on in New York City right now, it's on fire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot of young people losing their life, a lot of women losing their life, a lot of things. Like
kids and everybody.
Like just the other day in East New York, because I'm out there, a woman got killed right in her building. Like the shooters, these dudes, they murdered her. She was running out of her building, and she ran from one shooter, and the next shooter just got her in the next building and killed her. That's like,
it wasn't even meant for her.
It was meant for her, but it was.
Oh, it was meant for her?
Yeah, she was a federal informant, so it was meant for her. And the thing was, it's like the climate of what's going on. Even if you were a civilian and you say anything, they not caring. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no rules and it's no code.
So if she's a federal informant, they gonna be on that. They gonna be on that block. That block gonna be.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and it's like, and it got something to deal with some rappers, cause when I watched it on YouTube, I didn't know it was some rappers. My man's right there told me, and I went on YouTube and I'm looking, oh, I know these dudes, you know, cause in my neighborhood, you know, Brooklyn, it's a small world, you know, everybody know everybody, you know, it's just New York City, but you know, it's kind of crazy that the climate that we in with the drill music. It's like a mini Chicago out here, you know what I'm saying? Mixed with, you know, a little bit of what it was in the 90s with the crack era, you know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all gentlemen is a little older than me, but I know back in the days, it was the same way with the violence, with the youth, and, you know, out there shooting and killing the super predators like they was talking about back in the 90s with Hillary Clinton and all that, pushing that with the yummy and all that with the 3-strike law. And like what I'm seeing right now, they trying to give us another 3-strike law with the youth. And now that it's no crack in the streets, it's rappers in the streets.
Yeah.
The rappers is the new drug dealers.
Yeah.
So it's like the rappers done took what the drug dealers did in the 80s and 90s, and now they got the little young dudes doing the same thing. So it's like it's mind over matters manipulation game, and it's getting real dangerous. Like I remember Jay-Z had a record on Volume 1 called Rap Game, Crack Game. And that record he was talking about what's going on right now. Where basically the rap game is now the crack game. It's been the crack game since 1996, when majority of most street dudes were coming into the rap game and they was making money out of it. So now the street dudes don't gotta be in the rap game. The rappers is now the new street dudes, and they in the rap game getting the same amount of money that the street dudes was getting in the 80s and 90s. All they seeing is the cars, the women, and the jewelry, and that right there is confusing the youth, and the youth is going out there busting their gun for these rappers. And that's what I think is kind of wrong with what's going on, and that's why I salute a lot of the YouTubers that's calling it out, you know what I'm saying? Especially the dudes in New York, because you can see that when you go out to an event, you know what I'm saying? And I see it, you know, because I was out here not too long ago, I see like in a lot of events, like the older people don't want to even be there until when it gets dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We was just talking about
You know, so my mom's like, cause I went out here, I was out in the park, I was out in Riverbank, I was over there, and I went to like a little white affair thing, and basically like I saw when it got dark, everybody was leaving the park. So I was like, it's that crazy that if you go out to a cookout or anything, the beach, whatever. People is leaving when they get that sunlight, they fleeing. Exactly. And it's getting to that point like you can't even celebrate with your family, with your friends, with your girl. You can't do nothing because now you gotta duck if the young dudes coming in and they on some beef and rah timing, they coming with the guns and start shooting. And that shouldn't be like you want to have a good time. It's the summertime, everybody want to have a good time. Mm-hmm. But when you gotta deal with violence, you gotta deal with young dudes coming with their beef to parties, that's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I hate about what's going on in the area because it's like, damn, I had lost my friend not too long ago. I lost my friend the day before my birthday. Yeah.